Good morning, this is Mrs. Webb. It's actually good evening. It's pretty late. I'm doing this at 11:18 p.m. Okay, here we go. This is the second part of factoring, and this is when the leading coefficient does not equal 1. Okay? I'm going to do this slide with you, and then I'm going to upload some other videos because they have some really good ones out there on Khan Academy and on Google, and I like the way they do it when the leading coefficient is not 1. I don't like the way they do it when the leading coefficient is 1, but I like the way they present this, so I'm going to upload those videos as well. But let's get started. Okay, let's say I have this quadratic here, a trinomial, and notice the leading coefficient is not 1. So I look to see if there's a greatest common factor. I'm going to see, let's see, 3 would be 1 and 3. But 7 is 1 and 7. There is no common factor in this. So I'm stuck with 3x squared minus 7x minus 20. I'm still going to play the game in the sense that I'm going to look for two numbers that multiply to, this time, to 60. I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to multiply it times the 20 and I get 60. And I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, when I factor these, I get 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12. I stopped there because, look, I'm looking, it's a negative, so I'm looking for a difference of 7. The difference here is 59, this is 28, 17, 11, and look, the difference is 7. So I'm pretty happy now. I'm going to circle these guys. And I know that the biggest factor is 12. That means that one has to have the sign of this guy right, the first sign. I know it's going to be negative 12 and plus 5. Okay? Now I know 5 times 12 does not equal 20. So I can't just go put those in there. Because I also know it's got to be 3x. It's going to end up being 3x times something with x times something. Okay, now I do know these two back numbers are going to multiply to 20. Okay, but there's a lot of things I can put in there, but I know that when I go for the middle terms, they're going to be 5 and 12. So what I'm going to do is something called grouping. I'm going to take 3x squared minus 12x plus 5x minus 20, and notice I'm going to put a parentheses around each one and just add them. Now I didn't change anything here. I just put the parentheses around them. Okay, when I do that, I'm now going to look for the greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor between 3 and 12? I'm pretty sure I can take a 3 out. Okay, and then now this has to be an x, right? Minus 12x, 5x. So I'm actually going to take out an x, 3x. And here, minus 4. Because 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to take the greatest common factor over here. And over here, the greatest common factors are 5, x minus 4. Okay, if these two numbers in parentheses are exactly the same, then I can say this, 3x plus 5 multiplied times x minus 4. I have now factored it. And look, the back number, 5 times 4, gives me that negative 20. The front number, 3x times x, gives me the 3x squared. And now I'm going to check my innies here. My innies are right here, and they're 5x. My outies are a negative 12x. So when I combine like terms, I'm going to end up with a negative 7x. Okay, I'm going to show you one other way to do it, and a lot of people like this. This is the box method. But you know what? You still have to play the game. You still have to go and do 3 times 20, and I need to find all the factors here of 60, And I'm still looking for, because this is a negative sign, a difference of 7. So I get really excited when I find this guy. I know that when this is a negative, one's got to be a plus and a minus. So I know that the biggest factor gets this sign right here, the first sign. So I'm going to combine negative 12x and a positive 5x to get that negative 7x. Now here's where the little box comes in. The little box, if you remember, is we multiply to get into the box. And then we combine like terms to get out of the box. So up here, I know I have a 3x, and I know I have an x because it's prime. Not only that, on this one is a 3x squared. Okay, this one here has got to be a negative 7x when I combine those like terms. And this one right here has got to be a negative 20. So I'm going to go put the negative 20 in here. Okay, and this one I'm going to put a, see, x times 3x would be a 3x squared. Okay, I am going to look for, I'm going to enter in 5 and 12, but I don't know which one to do. Do I do the 12 here or the 5 here? And I want to put it in where I can find a greatest common factor. Okay, so there is no common factor between 5 and 3. So I'm going to put the negative 12 here, and I'm going to put the positive 5 up here. And let's see if that works. If I do x times, what times x would give me this 5x? I'd have to multiply times 5. And if I have a 5 here, 5 times what gives me negative 20? Well, that would be a minus 4. I end up with 3x plus 5 times x minus 4. Okay? Like I said, I'm going to upload some other videos because they have some other people that have some different videos, and I really like the way they explain it. I'm going to do one more with you in the sense that, are you guys ready to find all the factors of 120? I'm not, because I'm going to check for the greatest common factor first. And this one, the factors here are 2 and 2. I know that 22 is not divisible by 4. It doesn't divide evenly. But let's check the 2. 2 will go into 22. Will 2 go into 30? Yep. So I'm going to take out my greatest common factor here of 2. And I'm going to work on factoring this right here. Now I still have the problem because the leading coefficient is not 1. But I'm still going to play the game, but the difference is I'm going to say 2 times 15 is equal to 30. I'm going to look for two numbers that multiply to 30. And you see this plus sign here? They have to add to 11. So I come here and I go, okay, 1 and 30. Those add to 31. That's not going to work. 2 and 15. They add to 17. That won't work. 3 and 10. They add to 13. That won't work. Let's see, 5 and 6. Here are my guys. Okay, now this is a plus sign. That means these have to be plus plus or negative negative. But I look at this sign right here, so I know this is a plus and a plus. Okay, now if I wanted to do it by grouping, I'd leave the greatest common factor out here. And I'm going to say 2x squared. Now I'm going to put the 6 because 2 has the common factor would be 2. I'm going to put the 6x first plus 5x plus 30. Okay. Now I'm going to group them together. Okay, now I'm going to take out the greatest common factor here. I still got that 2, but look what I'm going to do here. 2 times, it's going to be a 2x times x plus 3 plus, I'm going to make this a bracket so you won't get confused. I just don't want you to ever lose your greatest common factor. 2x times x plus 3. I'm going to take out a 5 here, and I get x plus 6. Now, if these are exactly the same, I'm in good shape. These are not exactly the same, though. Let's see where I made my mistake, because I don't want to start this video again. If I take a 2x, that's 2x squared. 2 times 3 is a 6x. If I take a 5, that's 5x. 5 times 6 is equal to 30. But these guys are not the same. So I have a problem here. Let's see what mistake I made. Okay. Well, for one thing, it's not a 30, it's a 15. And that is the mistake I made, which is a pretty common mistake. So I'm not going to put 30 there because what's in my equation up there is 15. I pulled that 30 from over here, and you're only using that 30 to help you find what goes in the, how you're going to find your middle terms. This is actually a 15. So if I take out a 5, this would be a 3. Now they're the same, and I can say I'm going to take my greatest common factor from the very beginning, 2x plus 5 times x plus 3. There, I factored it. Okay, if I wanted to use the box up here, remember I'm going with right here, I'm just going to look at this part right here is what I'm factoring. I'm not going to worry about my 2. Okay, so if I put in these guys, I know I'm going to get a 2x squared. I know I'm going to combine terms, and I'm going to get an 11x. And I know right here, it's a 15, not a 30, is right there. Okay, 2 is prime. So I know there's got to be a 2x here and an x there. And this is going to be x times 2x is 2x squared, and there's nothing to combine there. Okay, now, I don't know what to put in here, though. I know, though, in this box that I'm going to go with 5 and 6. Okay? So I want to be able to find the greatest common factors out of these. So I have to look at the 5 and the 6, and this is a 2. I'm going to put the 6x here. And I'm going to put the 5x here. And let's see if that works. If I put the 5x there, okay, if I take the greatest common factor out of here, I would have a plus 5. If I take the greatest common factor here, let's see, I think I would have a 3. Right? Because 3 goes into 6 2 times, 3 goes into 15 5 times. But also look at how it works. If I know this one's a 5, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is 15. That's a 3. 3 times 2x is 6x. You can fill the boxes in different ways. But my final answer is going to be 2x plus 5, x plus 3. 2x plus 5, x plus 3. Okay? Good luck, and you want to watch the other